Welcome, everyone. This is the last of the series, um, the power of touch and beyond the fear of cancer. I have enabled, because someone just requested, the closed captioning. If that's helpful, you can enable that. So we've had an amazing series, and we've uploaded several of the recordings that we've done to the YouTube channel, and we'll do the same with this one. So I want to make sure you all know that if afterwards there's anything that you're not comfortable with us putting this video up, please let us know, and we will not, or we will edit out. The recording stays on the viewer, on the speaker, and so you can be comfortable. Last week, there was two of us presenting, and it always felt short of time. So I want to just give a huge gratitude to these three beautiful beings, for Yulli and Matthew and Tamao and Ileana, for agreeing to come together in community to speak about the power of touch, because they could each certainly speak for several hours, and for them to just be willing to share some of those gifts in a half an hour. I really appreciate that. And I hope you all also will appreciate and benefit from this as well. Touch is huge, and I just feel the pandemic has taught this to us, among many lessons, about how important it is to have touch in our life, to be touched, and then to learn about how to touch ourselves. As a trauma-informed space, it is something that we've also focused on a lot, is how to teach this to others so that they can have agency and sovereignty over touch. Sometimes we need others to touch us in a safe way that is healing. And these four individuals here are here with this beautiful skill, and I have an honor to be a client of Ileana as well as friend. And so just being witness to the power of, for instance, the Marma and the Abhyanga, and those layers of touch have been very impactful for me. Recently, I got to meet Yulli and Lisa and her team, and today Matthew. And Yulli is the founder of Yulli Therapeutics Massage Center in McLean, and I think you're working on opening a new space.
Yeah, we're thinking about it. We're growing, so we are so blessed, honestly.
That's so beautiful. So beautiful. And I was really impressed how you have a devotion to having therapists trained in oncology massage and lymphatic drainage and the body work that really serves the journey of cancer. And so she is our first presenter, her and Matthew today. And after will be Tamao sharing touch and Reiki and Qigong, and Ileana with Ayurveda and Marma. So welcome everyone. Feel free to write your questions into the chat. And also everyone here is really friendly. So if you're like, I don't know how to do anything, you can just unmute and say, excuse me, or you can raise your hand with the reactions as well. So I'm going to turn it over right to you, Yulli and Matthew. And thank you for joining us this evening and being here to share.
Thank you. And first of all, I want to thank you so much for letting us be part of this beautiful series that you've been working, and what a gratitude to give back to our community. I really feel honored to be part of this. So thank you for that, for making that happen for us. And first of all, I want to give you a little bit background of my studio, my healing center. I started my business with like $500 in a massage table in 2008. And I moved first to Fairfax and then to Vienna. And now we're here in McLean, and we are 7 massage therapists, and we all sharing the same ideas of helping people of giving back, just work from our heart, you know, because that's what this area needs, all of us, you know. We all being like, it's been rough with the pandemic, and we all need love, compassion, and healing. So that's what we're here for. And the reason why I got into oncology massage 3 years ago, I took part of my team to Costa Rica to get certified in oncology massage. That seminar that we went, it truly changed me how I see life, how I see like to help others. And it was very powerful for me. The instructor was amazing. It's all about, I have family members that have gone through cancer at really hard times, and some of them pass away. So I have a really, really huge heart for the compassion and to help others who are going through that process. So oncology massage, to give you a little bit of background, is very specific treatment for cancer patients to increase their quality of life. That's the background on oncology massage. And the benefits is basically having that support. I mean, we're not here to be to help them. What we are here to help them what they're going through is such a rough time for them emotionally, and the fact that they will have a place to come here and be comfortable. And we customize each session. We will interview them, how they feel, how they dealing with what is, just to make them feel comfortable, and from our hearts to put our love and compassion and customize each session to accordingly to what they need. Is huge. It's such a rewarding. We have patients that they have, like, obviously when you're going through cancer, mainly here in this area, I see a lot of breast cancer with a lot of scar tissue. And obviously when they have the surgery, is like they come like restricting lifting even their arms because of the scar tissue. So once the scar tissue is healed, like lately I've been seeing a lot of clients working on their scar tissue, and they're like, oh my God, Yulli, I can actually raise my arm. I haven't done that in like 3 years, 4 years. This is amazing. So there is hope for things that we can help when they're going through the process of cancer, that we can actually help them. And there is it, like, if you're going through that, just make sure if you go to a place, they are certified in oncology massage, because there is a lot of contraindications, such as like infection. They might have fever. So those things, you have to be very careful on how to treat them, because it's such a specific treatment. I call the treatment here in my healing center, yeah, my goodness, my mind. I call compassion healing, because that's basically what it is, what we do here, like the compassion healing. And I don't know, it's such a beautiful work. I enjoy it so much, because the fact that we're making a difference. And even if you have 7 bad days with chemo and all that, if you come and have a 1 day good, it's worth it to us to give that to them. So that's just who we are. And we can help to help more people. And I didn't know, but here we don't have so many oncology massages. Another day I went to this place, they do facials, but they also see a lot, it's a medical center, they see a lot of cancer patients. And when they find out that I had a healing center that do oncology, they're like, we need you, like we need your cards, we need your information, like we need place like this to send our clients, especially with the lymphatic massage. Matthew's gonna be talking more in depth about lymphatic massage. But even people when they feel swollen, they feel like oh my gosh, I'm going through this and I just feeling hopeless. The lymphatic massage is amazing because that helped them to get rid of the fluid, and so they will become more comfortable in their skin. But yeah, so here we are, and we can't wait to continue helping people. And we just so excited for this new chapter for us to kind of get into more, especially myself. I've been doing this for 20 years. I want to really get into just treating cancer patients. It's the best thing I want to do to help people and to give back to my community. But here is Matthew. He's gonna continue with with the lymphatic massage and more like self-care at home and what to do. And
yeah, absolutely.
He's like a encyclopedia, this guy.
That's a good way to put it. Yes, yes. My name is Matthew Jefferson. I've been practicing massage therapy for 9 years, one of which was spent teaching at a massage school down in Manassas, and that was a real awesome opportunity. It really showed me that I love educating people on the body and how to really unlock its potential. So today's wonderful. I was very glad to be a part of this. So thank you for having us. I hooked up with Yulli back in October of 2020. She came like a beacon of light, you know, during the pandemic and whatnot for me, and just had the perfect opportunity for me to get back into massage therapy. And I absolutely fell in love with the healing center that she's built here, just the style of treatment, what we're able to do, the diversity of practitioners, and everyone being able to hold their own perspective and really just be able to provide the care for all the clients coming through. The particular oncology massage is beautiful. It's so rewarding to work with that demographic because I feel like there's so few practitioners, as Yulli had mentioned earlier, and it's so necessary to really expand on that and get the knowledge out there. So I don't want to detract too much. What I want to get into today is personal care concerning lymphatic drainage.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Are we still live? All right, we're still good? Okay, and with lymphatic drainage, I treat a fair amount of clients utilizing manual lymphatic drainage techniques, and it's incredibly helpful in boosting the quality of life with individuals, especially in the realm of oncology, because you know your body gets impacted in so many ways, and every body system is interconnected, and when there's an imbalance in one place, it's going to impact the whole thing. So being able to work closely with the waste removal faculties of the body, that allows us to really help the body cope with stress, other tension that will accumulate from emotional, physical, mental, whatever. It can be very, very helpful. But to get into the hard details of the lymphatic system and how it functions right quick, it is a system that does not have a pump. It is not directly connected to your heart. It is dependent upon muscle contracture for fluids to be moved around the body. These fluids will get excreted from the circulatory system that will pick up many different aspects, bacterias, anything that shouldn't, any foreign matter that gets put into the body, it has to come out. So the lymphatic system is where that can pick that up. So the fact that it's dependent upon muscle contraction affords us the opportunity to be able to do self-massage techniques that can be very helpful in stimulating not only the lymphatic system, but the circulatory system. You cannot isolate one system without influencing the other. It's not possible. The body is like a symphony, and each part is like a different aspect of that symphony, and there's movements. And in personal care, that can be a beautiful movement that's going to allow you to be able to activate those healing abilities that we each have and we can utilize and access. So, okay, so let's get into working the lymphatic system in a personal care sense. The core thing to focus on that's going to have to be a steady practice in any personal care is going to be your breath. your diaphragm is beautifully connected to the lymphatic system and many different muscles that have to move with inhalation and exhalation. So having that deep abdominal breath is going to be essential in accessing the lymphatic system beyond just a superficial touch that you accomplish with brushing or doing manual skin on techniques. So in teaching individuals this, I always draw to deep diaphragmatic breathing, which I'm sure will be a constant theme throughout all the lovely healers that are speaking today. And being able to activate that sense, that part of the body, it's essential. So what you'd want to do, how I like to do this, many different backgrounds, different cultures, almost every human is going to have a perspective. It's almost like food. We all like using different spices and seasonings and whatnot. I'm going to try to just teach you the same way that I would teach a client that might be looking for this type of practice. But activating your abs, the diaphragm, you want to push the belly out on your inhale and let it fall down on the exhale. Now, there's many different ways to go about doing it, and I want to just leave you with something simple. I'm gonna give you just an example using 2 breaths, and I'm gonna try to see if you can see my body move, but I want you to take the auditory cues of how I'm doing this. I'm going in through the nose and out of the mouth. It's very basic, very simple. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get that started. Very relaxing. That takes the edge off of life, even that little bit there. Now, I hope you were able to hear me, hear the volume of air come in and see my shoulders and chest kind of rise and stomach expand a bit. That's indicating that we are activating the diaphragm and all the lovely little lymph nodes that, have that conversion of waste materials coming out of the circulatory system and coming out of the excretory system, having that function, be a thing. Now with brushing, while maintaining that breath, I find it very effective to always begin with that deep breathing. Try to maintain it. Don't emphasize it too much. You can always fall back into your normal rhythm of breathing. It's not a bad thing, but it helps to get more oxygen in the blood and inspire proper cellular function. So your metabolic processes that are happening, you're giving the nutrients there that's only helping to further stimulate your body's recovery processes. So what I have here with me today is this one is probably a medium bristle brush. You're free to use many different types, and it's going to vary by the individual. There's brushes will come in a light, medium, and hard. And a light bristle, of course, is going to be a softer impact, but still very effective. If even that's too much, you can use a dry loofah. You can use a regular washcloth to incite the same benefits. The real difference is going to be in the exfoliation process of it. When you have a hard bristle brush, something like I'm using today, you're going to be able to stimulate your glandular system and that subcutaneous layer that houses all of these pores. When you get the skin cells, the dead skin cells, to move out of that area and make space for new cells to be built, you're going to allow your body to excrete more toxins. So when using a brush, you always want to brush towards your heart. That is essential in doing this, and just the design of the lymphatic system. It's just like, you got to remember that it's closely related to the circulatory system, so that following that same vasculature is going to be effective in doing this. So I drew up a little map for you today so that we can get an idea of what the lymphatic system looks like. The green markings on there that would be the vascular infrastructure. This is not the most detailed, but I just wanted to emphasize that it's all over the body and it's unique to every individual. If you look a little bit closer, you can see that there's some dark marks where there's lymph nodes. That's where you get the conversion of waste going from the bloodstream into the lymphatic system for waste removal. Now, in doing a brushing self-care routine, you're going to want to start with your ankles. You have to remember from your working, that's working against gravity, your circulatory system pumping blood. So you want to aid your body in efficiency and moving waste up the body. So brushing up, starting at the ankle. Yeah, if you're gonna hold it, that would be awesome for me. I'm watching our time here. Starting at the ankles, and you want to go, let me get my pen out here. So your strokes are going to go in this direction, going up. You're starting out with the feet, and you're moving in that direction. You're going up towards the knee. Behind the knee, you're going to have another cluster of lymph nodes, and you want to continue that movement, that brushing up. And I'm going to give you an example of what that looks like. And you have the inguinal ligament here that runs on both sides, and the reproductive organs that sit right inside there. This is a major junction of a lot of lymph nodes where you get that transfer of waste, and you want to move towards that direction. And that's, you want to go there. And then when you change direction is when you come across the belly button. You want to, once you get past this line, you want to move, you want to push towards the armpits where you get another heavy clusters of lymph nodes. So your direction is going to go inward right here towards this junction, this major cluster of lymph nodes and everything there. Then out for the arms, just like the feet, you're going to go up, and you have these clusters of lymph nodes where you want to get that conversion going on. When it comes to the head, your strokes are going down. It's not the best picture, but those are going to come down. They're going to converge and come down into the neck. The neck offers a lot of lymph nodes, a lot of movement, a lot of muscle. So you get a lot of transfer of fluids there. So to give an example of what brush strokes would look like, say if I was working on my hand here, very simple, very simple. The pressure is light. You're always within control of that. And as I'm doing this, I can see that I'm exfoliating the skin there, and that's very stimulating to both the lymphatic system, circulatory system, and your glandular system. That's just going to allow this to be effective and efficient for you. So let me give you an example of what that looks like when you're breathing. So also, you want to keep in mind placement. You don't want to exhaust yourself in doing this type of practice. So you may want to, in a seated position, you want to lay that hand down on your leg and then get into doing that. That's you don't want to build tension, trying to break tension. So being in a comfortable position is going to be ideal. Doing it from the couch is good. Doing it while lying down is wonderful. Really identifying what's going to be best for you is going to be, a bit of a journey. So keep that in mind. Push towards the heart. We have these clusters of lymph nodes. You want to, that's the pumping to the heart. That's a simplification. That's just a safe, way to mantra to keep in mind when doing all this. But at the core of the infrastructure of lymphatic infrastructure, it's these lymph node clusters is where, the major action is going to be going on there. But I hope that is informative and insightful and just defining how this can be, good for you and beneficial. Now, contraindications in doing something like this, there's some strong considerations in regards to oncology clients. You really should get cleared. Like blood clots is something that you have to have awareness of, and that getting cleared of that by your oncologist is going to be essential before practicing something like this, because in massage therapy, we have to have that. You have to be cleared in order to perform that massage safely, because you can dislodge a blood clot and create further complications, of course, that we don't want to do for someone. Lymphedema is also a consideration. Your oncologist should make the recommendation on whether or not you should receive lymphatic type of massage or, doing those personal care routines. So like listen to your doctor in regards to doing this, because it can become toxic. It can become harmful if there's structural dysfunction that's not going to allow, the benefits to settle in. So if you have sensitive skin, you're prone to bruising, you have to kind of identify what's going to be your best material to use for doing this type of personal care routine. Another one, I think that covers some of the contraindications there. It's best to ask questions. I love interviewing clients or speaking with clients and, really breaking this stuff down. So on top of doing massage therapy, I'm also a yoga instructor. So I love getting, meditative type of qualities into the personal care routine, mindfulness meditation, and just really being able to help someone construct a very effective personal care routine that can last them a lifetime. It's been very beneficial to myself and how I like to carry on and practice massage comfortably. So I'm certainly hope that this can be something that can be helpful. Other modalities that I certainly would love to indicate that I'm sure we'll get into a little later on is like the practice of yoga. I heard someone's in the Qigong. Qigong is a beautiful way to move circulation and lymph around the body. It is a wonderful practice. I practice it myself. I don't necessarily teach it, but it is something. I love dancing, so that kind of goes hand in hand with that there. But yeah, that was great. Did you have any insight there, Yulli?
I just want to just thank you from our heart for having us on this amazing series. And also, if you want to learn more about us, our website is yullitherapeutics.com, YULLI. That's how I spell my name, the business name. And our phone number is.
I'll put it all in the chat.
We'll
get that information for everybody there.
Perfect. But thank you so much, and
Yes.
I thank you enough for being here.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions for Matthew or for Yulli? Are there any questions before we move on to Tamao? Yeah, and just make sure that you put your info in the chat for everyone. Yeah, and I think we will share it on email as well. So
awesome.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Problem.
Thank you so much.
okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Tamao. We'll hand the floor over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. This is Tamao. Nice to meet you. So I'd like to share my PDF. It's so, I feel so honored to be here. Thank you so
can you
much.
share? Can you share?
Yes. Let me try.
Okay. So I've known Tamao for a long time, and
you see?
I'm so excited you're here. Thank you, Tamao. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Do you see my the PDF? Yes. Okay. So I am Japanese, and English is not my first language. So if it's not clear, please stop me, and I will explain what I'm trying to say. If you have any question, please stop me at any time. Okay. So hi, I'm Tamao. I'm a massage therapist, and I'm specialized in oncology massage and the lymphatic drainage, scar tissue release, abdominal therapy, reflexology, and I also do the traditional Chinese orthopedic therapy. I am a massage therapist for about 20 years, and I love this work. I'm so honored to be a massage therapist. I am working at the I worked at the Innova Share Oncology Hospital and Arlington Hospital, both for inpatients and outpatients. I'm a Reiki master. I became a master in 2006, and I started teaching from 2009. I'm a lineage. My lineage is fifth from the founder of Reiki. And of course, I studied in Japan. So how I do Reiki is very traditional, which I found a little bit different from Western style. I volunteered at Arlington Hospital 2007 and 8 at oncology department for Reiki treatment. I'm a Aikido black belt. I've been doing this for 45 years. It's martial arts involving a lot of energy and ki. And I teach Qigong. In Japanese, it's called Kiko. Qigong, Kiko, same thing. And I'm a yoga teacher, and I'm a baby CrossFitter. So when you see what I do, Reiki, Ki, Ki is energy. Aikido is also energy. Aikido, that means synchronized martial arts for synchronizing energy. Kiko it means the work ki energy. It's a Chinese and Japanese. A lot of energy movement and body movements. So I've been studying and teaching, still learning a lot of modalities and therapies and activity involving the energy, and I love doing that. CrossFit is for me to ground it, which is very, very important for me. Grounding is very important. So today, I'd like to talk about the power of touch through the lens of oncology massage therapy and Reiki Rhoyo. So my experience of oncology massage therapy is I have done the inpatient massage and outpatient massage. So outpatient massage is the using, it's two different things, using all of the modalities that I can do to serve to my clients. For instance, if the patient or client has some tension, stress, or limited range of motion, I will work on pressure, a little bit of pressure, release the pressure, work on the range of motion. If they have the scar tissue release, lymph, to prevent the lymphedema or lymph flow, lymphatic drainage, all those things. For inpatients, which is very different, just inpatient massage for the Innova Hospital and Arlington Hospital. It's the about 15 to 30 minutes, 30 minutes the max. Just put the hands on and very light pressure. No pressure, just hands on. And move a little bit, lotioning. That's what I do. So very, very gentle. So that's two really different things. So the purpose for the inpatient oncology massage is to calm the nervous system for relaxation. That is very important. So Reiki Rhoyo, another thing that I do, the Reiki Rhoyo. Reiki, Rei means the superior. It's Japanese word, superior. And Ki means energy, life force. So superior energy. Rhoyo is the therapy. So it's a therapy of superior energy. That's the direct translation from Reiki Rhoyo. What I do is put the hands on, which is very, very similar or same for the inpatient oncology massage therapy. What I do, how I feel is the same. So benefits of oncology massage and Reiki: reducing a pain, alleviating the stress, relieving the nausea, reducing the depression and anxiety, improving sleep and lessening fatigue, preventing lymphedema. That's what I've seen, and that's also written in the massage AMTA, American Massage Therapy Association's website. And I didn't witness all those things very much. And Reiki, yes, reducing pain, alleviating stress, yes, relieving nausea, yes, reducing the depression, anxiety, yes, improving sleep and reducing fatigue. I hear a lot from my patients and clients. Preventing lymphedema. We're not gonna do the lymphatic drainage for the Reiki, but maybe yes. You never know, right? So here it's getting a little bit technical. It's called Walton scale of massage therapy pressure. So this is what we do as a massage therapist. So number 1 is light lotioning, very gentle. 2 is heavy lotioning, a little bit, it's like a spreading a lotion, right? Touching. Number 3 is medium pressure, a little bit pressure, right? You see the medium pressure, like this. Number 4, strong pressure. And number 5 is deep pressure. So for the inpatient oncology massage therapy at the hospital, we are only allowed to do the number 1 and number 2, light lotioning and heavy lotioning. That's all. That's it. We're not gonna put any pressure to the patient, which is same as Reiki therapy. Coincidence, but it makes sense, right? Yeah. So here, because I'm Japanese, I'd like to introduce this word, teate. So the power of touch is not just about the techniques, right? It's got to do something to do with energy, probably. Yes, I want to say that. Yes, so teate is a Japanese word. Te means hand, and ate means touch. So it directly means hands touch or hands-on touch, right? So what teate exactly means, it's hands touch, hands-on touch. Yes, I see it from the character, this Japanese character. But it really means the taking care of someone in pain who needs a medical attention. That's what does it mean. Yes. So for instance, if somebody has boo-boo, like boo-boo, injured, right? We put some clean the side, like a hydroperoxide, put the neosporin, and put the bandage on. That's called teate, right? We don't necessarily have to put the hands on, but that's called teate, right? But teate can be a little bit deeper. When, for example, when my daughter falls on the ground and she cries, oh, it's so painful, it's so hurt, I need you, I have a boo-boo, mommy, come and help me. Yes, then I come and, oh, baby, are you okay? With a kind word, compassion, the love, right? Okay, pick my daughter up and, oh, it's okay. And maybe, right? It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Then put some clean the site. So now here comes some medical procedure site, clean the site, and put the neosporin and put the bandage on. And still maybe my daughter is crying, yes? Then I hug, shh, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, right? It's going to be, you're gonna feel better. So teate, in a deeper meaning, all these process from the beginning. Are you okay? You're going to be okay? With a love and compassion. Like those kind words, love and compassion, and those teate, putting a bandage on, everything. Then after that, calm her down, everything. Whole package in a deeper meaning. It's called teate. Why it's called teate? We all know the hands are powerful. Putting a hand is powerful. It's not just the action. It's also touch the heart, right? It makes you feel better for some reason. It doesn't have to be on the heart. It maybe could be here, could be there. But it touches the heart. So teate in a deep meaning is healing touch for body and mind. We also do teate. We also use teate word for the heart, healing heart. So when we use this word in a teate, healing heart, okay. So my heart hurts, I'm depressed. Okay, let's do the kokoro no teate. Kokoro means heart. So kokoro no teate, healing heart, we talk to the friend. We see a therapist maybe, or maybe we eat ice cream or chocolate. That also works for the kokoro no teate, right? We use those healing for the heart. That's use this word teate, hands-on. So we know the hands are very powerful for healing and self-care. It involves the words, love and compassion, maybe prayers, and maybe that those process that's the clean the site and put the bandage on. Everything, whole package is called teate. Hands are powerful, and we many times forget. Just simply putting hands on may heal the heart, heal the site, heal the area. Okay. So, do you have any question so far? Okay. So, how do we do self-care and self-healing with teate mindset? With compassion and with love. Yes. So in my own way, I'd like to introduce some of the movement, combining the techniques or idea of the oncology massage and Qigong and Reiki. Yes. Please join me if you'd like to do it together. Right. So maybe I would stop the sharing the slides so you can see me larger. Yeah. Yes? Now you see me large? Maybe? Okay. I see people here, so I just don't know. Okay. So before we start, let's put the hands together in front of the heart, the prayer position. Yes. And I'd like to introduce this mantra. And please repeat after me. Okay. I'm in the universe. Universe is in me. Universe and I combined together as one. Breathe naturally and calm and feel the connection to whatever you resonate, Reiki, or cosmic energy, or energy supports you, ancestral energy, prana, Shakti, mana, swell, anything that resonates you. My Reiki master told me it's all the same. The name is different. Just go in and calm and breathe. And slowly open your eyes and rub your hands. Beautiful. And maybe smile. So with this healing hand, everybody has the power of healing and powerful hands to heal yourself, right? And cleanse. Bring your hands to the head and cleanse the whole body from head to the arm. As they feel the heat of the hands. Let's cleanse and clean with love and compassion. Whole body. And by the way, this brushing stroke is very encouraged for the lymphatic drainage. Right? Lymphatic vessel just goes under the skin. That's really helps to drain the lymphatic. So brushing stroke is very nice. Okay. So now to open the hands, energy and connect, right? So we want to activate the open hands for the hands touch. So let's open that. So touch the, start from the left hand and grab, just touch the hands, the finger, thumb. So when you touch it with the 3 fingers, I'm using the 3 fingers like this. Then feel these 3 fingers are really touching to the left thumb, 3 points, right? You are talking, you are having a conversation with the thumb very much. Feel the touch, 3 points. Yes. Then slowly, gently move along the thumb, the side of the thumb. And when you do this, you're really, truly feeling it. Every single movement. How many cells are in your thumb? I don't know. Maybe millions, right? You are talking to the millions of cells of the thumb. Hello, saying hello, right? Hello, everyone. I'm here. No, I'm your friend. I'm here to taking care of you. Right? So now, pinch from the top and the bottom and do the same. Glide very, very gently as you feel like you're making space in between the joints, right? Slowly. Slow is the key. At the end, you won't press the side of the nail like this. In traditional Chinese medicine, here is the huge acupressure points. It's opening a door for the energy in and out. So gently press and activate. And also press the nail and pads of the finger. Gently press and release. Right? Let's do it all the fingers. The point finger, gently talking to each cell, saying hi, making a space of the joint. Yes, And breathe and relax. Breathe and relax. Beautiful. And don't forget to press the side of the nail. And nail and pat. And release. Do this at your own pace. 4 fingers. And side. And this. By the way, the lot of people under the treatment, chemo treatment, they have the neuropathy. And a lot of times I witnessed that the finger, hands, and also the feet. So this treatment, self-care, really helps the neuropathy move the chemo drugs, you know. So this is the opening the hands and activating for your hands power of touch, but it also helps to drain the chemo drugs. And after finish the 5 fingers, then let's massage the palm. And what I mean palm is whole palm. So palm is like a room. Okay, so you don't want to miss the corner of the room too. So it's not just the middle of the palm. You want to do whole palm. Conscious touch. And you feel all the movement of the thumb. And as you move the skin, that is going to also help the lymphatic movement. Conscious touch. Touch with love and compassion. This is a time for self-care. Okay. So, and also grab the wrist, activate the wrist. Now, compare the right hand and left hand. You feel the differences? Yes, for me, yes. So let's balance it. Do it the other hand. Starting from the finger. And nail. And pinch. I'm doing it faster. Running out of time. Each finger. And nail. Beautiful. Okay, when you're done the whole finger, then start the palm. And whole palm. And side touch. Okay, and wrist. A little bit wrist grabbing. Okay. Now put the palm up, and from the shoulder, a little bit pounding. Tapping. That's activating inside of the palm. That's the 3 meridians. The lung, heart constrictor, and heart. And put the hands down. Also 3 different meridians. The large intestine, triple heater, and small intestine. Like a cleansing the river, cleansing the nadi in the Marma, cleansing any like those energy flow. And let's do that the other side. Put the top down. And brush. Beautiful. So how you feel? More balance, right? Okay. So one more thing. So with this palm, rub together and relax. Deep breath. And put this hand side of the head. This is very much like Reiki movement. Reiki straight self-Reiki. And if you feel like you want to move the hands a little bit, slide, very gentle, that's also fine. As you are doing this, you may be connecting to an inner healer, activating, knocking door for them to come out. Breathe and just feel good and find your comfort. And let's slide our hands to cover the eyes. And let's slide hands to the heart. And feel the hands, heat of the hands. Maybe opening up, maybe your breath is deeper and calmer. We are all healers ourselves. Slowly, gently open your eyes. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. I'd like to close my part session, this part, and I thank to you all joining me doing this together. Namaha, namaste. I hope you feel better and good. Thank you so much for joining me. ありがとうございました。ありがとう。Now I'd like to pass this on to Ileana. Ileana.
Thank you. That was so
you.
beautiful. I don't know if I can talk because I'm so relaxed. I'm like melting into my seat right now. Thank you for that beautiful practice.
So much. Thank you.
So my name is Ileana Gonzalez. I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner and also a yoga teacher. And my passion and my specialty is bringing Ayurveda and yoga together. For those of you who are new to Ayurveda, it is the sibling science of yoga. And what Ayurveda does to yoga is really expand our practice. It fills our toolbox with so many kinds of practices that are geared and designed for our individual needs. So Ayurveda takes into consideration where you are in your what stage of life you're in, what stage of your health and wellness you're in, and it individualizes practices based on that. It's a very vast body of knowledge. It is considered to be one of the world's original medical systems. So there's a lot of, especially the Eastern medical traditions, they're believed to have their roots in Ayurveda. And so it's very complex. As a medical system, it's quite complex. But the other side of that coin is that it's a lifestyle approach. So it places a lot of importance on our everyday lifestyle routines as a way to maintain health, as a way to build resiliency, as a way to build immunity, and therefore as a way to face when disease does happen. It gives us a little bit of a head start in that our body just becomes a little bit more resilient over time with these practices. So there's a lot of value placed on the idea of self-care. And one of the things that I think is really valuable is that it places it gives us a chance to ritualize our lifestyle, meaning that we can elevate it. And Tamao has spoke a lot about intentionality. She spoke a lot about, doing our self-care, doing these practices with a lot of love and compassion. And so as a lifestyle approach, Ayurveda allows us to do that for our own self-care rituals. So we kind of elevate it, and in that sense, we can say that it becomes even like a spiritual practice, right? Because there's nothing more sacred than this, or the container, right? This physical body. And I think when we are faced with illness, with disease or suffering, we forget that our own sacredness. And this is why I want to introduce to you Marma therapy, which is one of many of the therapeutic approaches that Ayurveda offers. To me, it is a way to remind ourselves of our sacredness. So the best way to explain Marma is if you look at a map of the world, we know that there are certain sites on the planet that are considered sacred. They are sites where the energy of that particular place is very, very strong, right? There are a couple of those places here in this country, in the United States. Think of places like Asheville in North Carolina, or Sedona in Arizona, or all those Native American sites, right? And there are lots of those kinds of places all over the planet. So these sites are considered sacred because the energy there is so strong. It is believed that it is a place where you really can sense or be a part of the greater cosmos, this divine power. And Marma is that exact same idea for our body. So Marma points are sacred sites on our body that allow us to access our inner divine sacred energy. So there are 107 points on our body, and they're very strategically placed. They're not random points. They are points where a lot of different types of tissue meet. So they could be, for example, the joints, or where muscles and tendons come together, where nerve endings come together. And these points access an inner communication so there's like an inner channels where energy is flowing. These are called the nadis. Some of you who are familiar with yoga may know about the 72,000 nadis. So these are channels that are inside of our body that carry prana. They carry this vital energy. The central channels, of course, are the chakras. So we have the central channel running up and down our spine, and we have some other secondary channels that go from our nostril, and they kind of spiral down. So we have the Ida, the Pingala, and the central channel. We have, imagine, like 72,000 channels carrying energy through your body. And what happens is, like any other kind of channel, they get blocked, they get stagnant. We hold a lot of emotions, unresolved emotions, things like grief, things like fear, and other types of toxins, even physically. But by being able to access these energy channels, we're unlocking all of these things that keep us from making any progress in our healing. The beautiful thing about Marma is that we are working with subtle energy, right? The prana is the most subtle of energy. And because it's subtle, it allows us to go very, very deep. So even like on a cellular level, it allows us to reach the smallest particles with prana. And prana, of course, as we know, it's our vital force. And of course, it's very healing. So we don't even need touch. We could access this even by intention, right? And this has kind of been like a common theme this evening, talking about intention and approaching our own self-care with love and compassion. However, we can even make it more powerful with touch. And as Tamao very beautifully said, like, your own hands are healing. Like, you don't need, you don't need any outsider to unlock this energy that's already within you. Your own hands can do that, because the hands are very powerful. So even with a very, very light touch, we can unlock these energy channels. So the word Marma actually in Sanskrit means hidden or secret, which is a really great it's a really great translation. It's a really great way to think about what Marma actually is, because it speaks to how it just speaks to how powerful this energy is, right? Because it holds so much of this, like, this inner communication of energy. One way that I like to think about it, one way that I like to describe Marma is, if you think about those old switchboards where you had, the operator was sitting in front of this switchboard with a bunch of wires, and you would call and say, connect me to so and so, and they would know, right? They would unplug it from here and plug it from there. Marma is that same idea of this inner communication of energy. And the Marma points themselves are entryways So we unlock them, we unlock this energy just by a very gentle touch. And that's another thing that we've been discussing this evening. It's about, we want to do things in a gentle way. We want to approach our self-care, especially when we're on, this kind of healing journey. We want to do things that will bring us calm and peace, and things that will calm the nervous system. So we don't need anything. We don't need anything that is deep. We don't need a lot of pressure. We just need the gentlest touch. And Marma is something that you can do on yourself anytime. There's really no contraindications for it. It's really good for any time that you feel like you need that calming effect. But even as a regular self-care practice, it's something that is, it's very, very accessible. You can do it lying down, you can do it sitting, you can do it even as a meditation. If you've ever done a yoga nidra practice, at the end of the class, they kind of like they give you like a guide of different points on the body. Those are marmas, but it just also speaks to the fact that just by bringing your attention and intention to the points, you're effectively getting the same results. You are activating, you're opening the door to these energy channels. Ultimately, what happens when you're able to restore the flow of prana is you have a mind-body connection. And that mind-body connection is something that you don't really get with anything else. This is the ultimate goal of yoga and certainly of Ayurveda, is that ultimate union, right? It's a reminder that that's what we are. We are mind body. So even though the points are located on our physical body, really what we're doing is we're accessing, we're unlocking and opening those doors and going into those inner channels that hold all of those secrets. So of course, we're talking about probably the most powerful form of energy. So what can we expect? Obviously, we can expect, deep inner healing, of course. Marma also has the power to change our biochemistry. We're unlocking like our inner pharmacy. There's a lot that happens when you are able to restore that flow of prana that gets blocked with stress mostly. And of course, when we are trying to deal with, with disease, with an illness, it can be extremely stressful emotionally and mentally. And this is another reason why Marma can be such a helpful tool. But some other things to expect is that it does bring out these deep-rooted emotions, and that's a good thing. That's part of healing. We want to be able to process them because we weren't able to the first time. We didn't know how to. So these are all positive things, but these are some things that we can expect. So I would just walk you through an easy routine that you can do on your own. And like I said, you could do it lying down. You can do it seated. We have a lot of these points on our head and on our face. They're located down our body, front and back. We also have a lot on our hands and on our feet. So even if, even the routine that Tamao showed you, you are also accessing the points. If you do a foot massage, you are accessing the points. So I'm just going to walk you through some ways to work on the face and the head. I personally like to use a little bit of oil. You don't have to at all, but you know, it's nice. I like it. So I have a little bit of almond oil here. So I'm just going to put a little bit on my hand. And before you start this practice, it's also nice to do like a centering, you know, like what Tamao showed us before, or what Matthew did at the beginning, where you're just kind of like grounding yourself and taking some breaths. But since we did that so beautifully with her before, I won't walk you through that. But just use this as a practice of grounding and calm. You know, don't do it when you're going to be in a hurry. Like, definitely give yourself the space to take your time. So you just take that little bit of oil, and you're welcome to either massage it on, you know, all over your face. Don't be afraid to put oil on the face. And it doesn't have to be a lot. You just want enough to be able to kind of like glide your fingers on the face. You can also do your ear. So there's lots of energy points on the earlobe. So you can just take from the inside and work your way down to the lobe. You can also kind of pull on it gently. So you're just pulling it towards the outside, and then pull down on the earlobe. When you come back to the face, the eyebrows are very, very sensitive. Pretty much the whole eyebrow is a Marma point, but to find the Marma point on the eyebrows, you trace from the middle and go right towards the center. You should feel a little groove there, like a little tiny groove right on the bridge where the eyebrows are located. Now for Marma, you're just pressing very gently. It's acupressure. There are different techniques to access, but just for our purposes, we're just using very light acupressure. So you're not going deep. Definitely, they're not meant to be harmed. So you just want to be very gentle. Another way to do the eyebrows is to take your thumb and index and just kind of pinch from the inside all the way out to the corner. Also, this point right here, those are Marma points. You can use your thumb, just kind of insert them right on that point. It might be a little sensitive. So again, they're not meant to be harmed. So if it's uncomfortable, use less pressure, or not, you know, no pressure at all. So you're a little bit goes a long way with Marma, because again, we're working with prana, which is a very, very subtle energy. So it does not take much to send that current of energy. The nose also, we have points up and down the nose. So from here, from that inner part of the eyebrows, you can just trace down the side of the nose. If you come halfway, right to where about the cartilage ends, and then press in. Those are for sinuses. It'll release the sinuses pretty much right away. And then if you continue down right on each side of the nostril, those are also some key points there. So again, another thing you could do is just could massage very gently using that oil on your hands. You could just go up and down from the eyebrows down to the nose, the tip of the nose. And now coming back to towards the temples. So using 3 fingers. So yeah, I basically have points there's 3 different points from the edge of the eyebrow all the way down, all the way to the hairline. So you just basically take the 3 fingers and you can either massage like that or give yourself a little circular motion here. And this is probably something that you do just like when you have a headache, you probably just by instinctively know to massage those points. So as I said, any of the points, you access the mind. So anytime that you are, working with the points, you are really working on the mind. So anything that has to do with memory, with mental stability, grounding of the mind, it's the points serve as the access to that. Then we can move up towards the scalp. So of course we have the one in the middle of the forehead, which coincides with our third eye. So you can take a little bit of that oil and do circular motions or just do the slight pressure. Some of these points will feel different each time that you access them. It might feel different. It's just kind of, you have to see if you need to maybe pull back on the pressure or just do a little bit of the light massage. Giving yourself a scalp massage feels great. The sutures on the scalp are basically 1 point. So you can either trace the sutures, so you can trace it from the top to the back and then along the sides, or just give yourself a nice scalp massage. And also don't be afraid to put a little bit of oil on the scalp. Really good for the scalp and for the hair. Then we have points basically along the center of the skull, all the way to this midpoint here. So if you're wearing a ponytail, that part where it rests right here. So right from pretty much, it's technically 6 fingers from the eyebrows. So for most people, it's going to be right at the edge of the hairline. So the easiest way to access, if you put your fingers together like this, and just start tracing all the way down to that point in the back. So applying a little bit of pressure here, just slowly start tracing. It's basically along the part of your hair. So if you were to part your hair along the middle, that's where the line of the points are. And you just work your way all the way to the back and start again. So just like before, you want to take your time, you want to go slow, you don't want to be rushed. And once you're done with your routine, you would once again just bring your hands down and take your breaths, take whatever you need to in order to enjoy the grounding and the calm that Marma gives. So yeah, we have about 5 minutes left, and I don't know if we wanted to leave some time for questions. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions about like for Tamao or for myself or anything that we discussed?
That was just all so lovely.
We're going to sleep very well tonight.
It's almost like maybe we shouldn't talk too much, but that was really between the hands and this.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
lymphatic. Yes, huge gratitude. But are there any questions or at least any feedback? I assume behind these screens, blank screens, there's people. any feedback if you did some of this at home, or just any questions as well? And Alessandra, I saw you come on for a moment and off. If there's anything you want to share. Well, I want to, it's, hi, Alessandra. I know you came on right after Tamao, so I didn't know if you had a question for her.
Oh no, that was beautiful. It's so much good good practices, good information to apply. So thank you. Much gratitude.
No,
I feel really relaxed. I'm like, Ileana, I can't even talk.
I know.
It was hard. That was very hard for me because I was relaxed.
I think so many of us as teachers, when I was under your teacher like this, how empowering it is to add this into the sharing.
Yeah.
Even in any like your workspaces, you know, you all do different, like I think Emily, or if it's Emily Stockhouse, I think that it's like, you know, you're in the world of
Yes, sir. Like
hairstylist.
right.
Right?
Service to, yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The thing about Marma is there are other ways in we I think we subconsciously or unconsciously are accessing them. For example, when you do asana, even like on the mat, you know, when you're having contact with the mat in an asana, you are also of course working the Marma, but even the way that we touch others when we approach others, because the whole body is sacred. The whole body has ways in which we can access this inner communication of energy. So even the way that we approach others with our own energy is also, it also holds that power, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I
Yeah.
have a question because I think Tamao, she's a yoga teacher also, and I did Reiki first degree, and I kind of struggled to find out how to incorporate that into the yoga classes. Maybe this helped me a little bit to kind of see how everything you can bring it in, all the knowledge, but I don't know if she has any suggestions.
So many different ways to incorporate. I try my best to answer, but I have a lot to say. So please, contact me directly after. But so many different ways to incorporate Reiki and yoga. Like I said, Reiki, my belief and my teachers believe, prana and Reiki is the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So of course, Reiki is used for hand touch, but it's also energy. So before you do practice Reiki, you connect to Reiki or prana, same thing. Then you practice exercise yoga. That may make the yoga practice different way. You know what I mean?
Right, for myself, but then to share with others.
Share with the others
without, touching or
okay. Without touching. So the traditional Reiki, the class, there's the second level. I think the second level, the long distance Reiki, distance Reiki. So it's totally different from hands-on. So you may be able to, if you learn a long distance, incorporate with Reiki practice. However, my my sister is also yoga teacher in Japan. And she actually, at the end, when her students are doing a Shavasana, she touches the student's body with a Reiki, of course, with the permission. And all of her students love her touch. So that's the idea too, right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tamao and Ileana, please put your information in the chat. And I want to just I'm sharing a couple studies. There's so many studies out there about the journey, the power of touch on the cancer journey, during chemo, during treatment, the pain that Tamao and Yulli and Matthew spoke about, like there's so much evidence of how helpful it is. And it's just what you naturally do when you hurt yourself, you put your hand there to bring healing. So sometimes it's finding all these different ways to access it, to make it accessible. I know at Innova, the nurses for many years were being trained in healing touch. And I don't think we brought up, I think maybe Tamao, you had healing touch, but you had the kind of the Japanese perspective of healing touch, right? That's what but there's
Yes.
modality called healing touch that is nurses are trained in, and I know Innova here in the Shard Cancer Center incorporates that, and there's a lot of studies around that as well. But it's very, very similar, if not the same, as to what Tamao shared. And then Ileana is kind of giving you this ancient wisdom of all these rivers and this way of looking at the body that this Western medicine isn't trained in. And even if you don't, it's like when you don't have to believe it, but just for a moment, imagine it. Right? Imagine all these rivers and that you can support that flow. And what Matthew brought up at the very beginning, like our lymphatic system does not have its own pump, like it needs you, and your whole immune system is dependent on your lymphatic system. And so these ways of stimulating through dry brushing and then through the kind of self drainage, because you have a system in you that needs you for the well-being. You have many systems, but the lymphatic is one of them. The skin, the largest organ, another one. And then we add these other layers of meridians and nadis and energetic.
And I love what Matthew said, that the body's like a symphony, and everything is related. Everything is related. And I think we don't actually realize that until we become ill. And you realize how everything is designed to support everything else. And if one is not as strong, it needs, you have to step in and like give it support. So it's a really good visual.
Beautiful. Well, thank you. I know Sunday night is such a sacred night too, because you're wrapping up and you're welcoming the week. So just huge gratitude that you've all joined us. And thank you, Yulli and Matthew. Thank you, Tamao. Thank you, Ileana. And thank you, everyone who's joined to support and to be empowered. It's a gorgeous evening, and we'll send a follow-up email with access to the recording, contact information for everyone, and they'll also maybe make some special offers for you all to explore as well. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Alessandra, Emily. Thank you, Nisha, Elizabeth, Kiko, Miriam. Thank you, Elena. Thank you. Thank you. Have a beautiful evening.